case we make for the fact that the future of creating sustainable enterprises is contingent on open networking organizations. And the talk builds on our contributions to the Sustainable Enterprise Field Book. So we're going to share the pain and speed here. I have a 15-second challenge for you. There should be sticky notes on the tables. And I want you just to grab a pen and a sticky note and think, what are the first three top sustainable enterprises that come to mind as you think about sustainability? Who are the sustainability leaders? And if you could just write those down, and we'll use them in the discussion that follows. When you look at this list, perhaps some of those companies are on your lists. And I'll also be interested to see who's read the seminal article published in HBR last year, in which all of these companies appear together. The article is Why Sustainability is Now the Key Driver of Innovation. It's C.K. Pralad, who many of you will know, I'm sure, is one of the key authors, and they make two key points. They use citing examples of those companies which we showed. They explain why being environment friendly is good business, and also that sustainability is innovation. One of the companies is Walmart, and the question is, what is it that all the companies who are sustainability leaders these days share? And while Walmart and all these other companies operate through a linear hierarchical network, what we argue is that the secret is intentional networking. Everybody knows that actually creating value in an organization each day is a messy and complex business, and we suggest that, in fact, a fish pond ecosystem graphic is a better way of depicting the complex webs of networks that create sustainable enterprises. Sustainable enterprises strategically build ecosystems of relationships with stakeholders and partners that to make them sustainable, and also protect against the outside forces that they can't control, as we've seen through the economic downturn. The question is, why is it that networking is so critical now? And Moore's law and technology will continue to buffet organizations with increased connectedness and knowledge flows. And we suggest that adapting your organization as networks is critical to that, to being sustainable in this environment. We suggest 7 elements define a sustainable enterprise. They're all strategy driven, but it's all about ecosystem thinking and networking. The first is adopting a network mindset which replaces cog and wheel thinking. And the network maps become the metaphor for the organization, and network mindsets help leaders adapt and move from linear to complex systems thinking. We live in an age of social low-cost technologies, and among their impacts is the fact that it enables people much lower in organizations to connect across hierarchies, parts of the organization and beyond. And so the challenge to leadership in this environment is moving from command and control to respect and influence. Changing organizations demands changing the language, and this slide shows some of the language shifts that we suggest are required to make this transition from 20th century smokestack to 21st century sustainable networked enterprises. Changing organizations also demands changing patterns of participation. Networking is work, and engaging people through networks is essential to creating value. And let's apply that thinking to ODNNY. So this is a touch graph map that shows the relationships between your website and others. So if you apply network language of structural holes, open and closed networks, strong and weak ties, then how can you intentionally build the relationships to strengthen ODN as an organization? So we think about sustainable enterprises, how you incent, what you incent and what kind of behavior is absolutely critical. So if our organizations are increasingly collaborative, are you structuring the reward systems to reflect that? Also key to sustainable enterprises are new metrics. So clearly the triple bottom line issues of measuring economic, environment, and social impact are accepted, but we suggest that the measuring intangibles is going to become the holy grail of business performance measurement in this century. Finally, strategy is the one constant that hasn't changed as the key driver of effective sustainable enterprises, and the structure, shared values and systems all have to adapt to a strategy that's being driven. We'll visit our blog to read Victoria Axelrod's post, which better explains this graphic, but the bottom line is that sustainability starts with strategy, value is created through interactions in the human systems, and network innovation creates sustainable enterprises. To help OD practitioners become aware of, and others become aware of different companies leading the way with sustainability, we've started this wiki sourcing sustainable enterprises initiative. It uses a wiki and crowdsourcing to try and build a living collection of profiles of companies to which you should be paying attention. And finally, I look forward to continuing the conversation at the tables tonight and beyond. As Lisa mentioned, we convene the Sustainable Enterprise Network on NIM. We blog at the 21st Century Organization blog, and you'll find us both on Twitter. And we do appreciate challenges to our thinking. So I look forward to having those conversations. Thanks very much.